If you're not sure how to write a letter in Spanish, well, this is the video for you. So stay right here, grab a pen, and come right back. Hola, hola, soy Senorita Spanish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're diving into letter writing. Just to note that this video is geared primarily towards the CSEC Spanish exam. And I will provide you with some useful phrases when letter writing as well as the structure of your letter. By the end of this video, you should be able to write a letter in Spanish and feel more prepared where that is concerned. So let's jump right into the parts of your letter. The first part that you will need is la ciudad y la fecha, which is the city and the date. For your Spanish letters, you do not need an extravagant address with the lot number or even the parish or country that you live in. All you need is a city, comma, the date. Por ejemplo, Barcelona, 12 de mayo de 2023. Another example is Kingston, 5 de enero de 2024. So whichever city that you can think of, it could be Tokyo, it could be Madrid, it could be Nassau, any city at all. It doesn't matter if it's true. Followed by your date in Spanish, and the structure and format is right there on the screen. You're going to put that in the upper right hand corner of your page. The next element of your letter is the greeting, el saludo. Who are you writing to? If you're writing to a male, then the word for there will be querido, querido Luis, or querido Mateo, followed by a colon. However, if you're writing to a female, it will be querida, querida Luisa, querida Ana, followed by your colon. Similarly, if you're writing to a teacher and that teacher is male, then it will be querido señor Telo or querida señora González. So the greeting is either querido or querida, and it has to do with the gender of who you are writing to. We follow this with a colon. Similarly, if you're writing to a group of persons, then you can pluralize querido to queridos amigos o queridas amigas. The next element of your letter is el texto, which is the body. However, before we jump into the body of the letter, we need to have a number of opening lines. The opening lines include greeting and asking the person how they are doing. Por ejemplo, hola, ¿cómo estás o qué tal? Which is hi, how are you, and what's up. Now, any one of these are appropriate. Another greeting could have been hola, ¿cómo andas? ¿Cómo te va o qué pasa? All of these communicate the same thing, which is asking about the well-being of the person to whom you're writing. So the first element of your opening line is the greeting and asking about their well-being. You can also ask about the well-being of their family members. ¿Cómo está tu familia? Is a very good phrase to use. Or ¿Cómo están tú y tu familia? Which is how is your family? And the second line says how are you and your family? Now after that we can express, I hope that you're well. Espero que estés bien. Another similar phrase is espero que tú y tu familia estén bien. I hope you and your family are well. Espero que tengas buena salud is another nice line to have in your opening paragraph. This one says, I hope that you are in good health. Similarly, espero que tú y tu familia tengan buena salud. I hope that you and your family are in good health. Another one is using the verb desear, to wish, to desire, to hope. Deseo que te encuentres bien de salud, which is another way of saying I hope that I find you in good health. And similarly, deseo que tú y tu familia se encuentren bien de salud. I hope that you and your family are in good health. So your opening paragraph should include one of these phrases. Another good line to use is, for instance, let's say that you received a letter and you're writing back to the person. We could say, recibí tu cartita con mucha alegría. I received your letter with a lot of gladness or happiness. So say, for instance, you're given a scenario where you're to write to someone who has invited you to a wedding or a function. A very good line to use is to state that, oh, I received your letter, I received your invitation, and we can mix and match where necessary. Another phrase is, te envío estas cariñosas líneas para decirte de. I send you these lovely lines in order to tell you about. So we're going into why we are writing, which is the final part of our introductory paragraph. Following the day, you could state de mi escuela, de mi familia, whatever the content of your letter is about to be about. Here's another one. Escribo esta carta para decirte de o que. I write this letter in order to tell you of, or in order to tell you that, and we follow that with the reason for writing. Let's say, for instance, you received a letter from someone who has invited you to their wedding, or you've heard good news and you are to express this. Then we could state, las felicitaciones sinceras de mi parte. My sincere congratulations for, and then we can follow up with whatever the event is, por tu boda, for your wedding, or por tu graduación, for your graduation. Another phrase that can be included in the introductory paragraph is this one. Quiero expresarte mi sincero agradecimiento por. So I want to express to you my sincere gratitude for. And we can follow up by saying your letter or your invitation, tu carta or tu invitación, wherever it is best fit. A similar phrase to that one is, quiero darte las gracias por. I want to give you thanks for tu carta, for your letter, or por tu invitación, for your invitation. Finalmente, we have to ensure that we have a reason for writing. Te escribo para decirte sobre. I write you in order to tell you about mi familia, mi reciente viaje a, my recent trip to, una beca que gané, a scholarship that I won, o una oportunidad que gané, an opportunity that I won, o un concurso en que entré, a competition in which I entered. And if you follow up the past paper questions, the letter writing section usually asks you about a competition that you entered, or an exchange program that you're a part of, or an opportunity that you received. So these can come in very handy. So that is the end of your introductory paragraph. After you've finished writing this paragraph, it should look something like this. So we have our city and our date in the top upper right corner. Barranquilla, 20 de marzo de 2023, como así. On the other side of your paper, the left side, you're addressing to whom you're writing. Querida for females or querida for a male. We are writing to a female in this example, so querida Maria, colon. Our opening lines include, asking them how they're doing, checking up on their well-being, as well as you can put a line checking up on their family. And then we state our reason for writing. So we have written, ¿Cómo estás? Espero que tú estés bien. Escribo esta carta para decirte del programa de intercambio en que yo participo ahora en Colombia. How are you? I hope you're well. I write this letter in order to tell you about the exchange program in which I'm participating now in Colombia. And that is our introductory paragraph. Simple, ¿no? Now on with the show. Vamos a continuar. What's next for our letter? Let's get into the body of the letter. Now, the body of the letter will vary. It depends on what you're writing about. However, what I can help you with are linking phrases, as well as useful words, lingo, transitional words, and phrases that we can use to add to the expression and cohesion of our letters. Firstly, we want to ensure that we're sequencing our thoughts. So we can use words like primero, which is firstly, segundo, which is secondly, tercero, which is thirdly. Or we could follow up by saying después, o entonces, o luego, which all mean after or then. Then we have a number of transitional words that we can use in our writing. Normalmente means normally, o por lo general, o generalmente, which both mean generally. We can also use the phrase antes de, which is before, and that is a phrase that is followed by the infinitive. For example, before leaving, antes de salir. Or we could say después de, which is after. This phrase is also followed by the infinitive. So for instance, after leaving would be después de salir. Then we have al, which means upon, followed by the infinitive. Upon leaving, al salir. Upon arriving, al llegar. And then we have sin, which means without, also followed by the infinitive. Now, we have a number of useful words and vocabulary, so let's get right into them. However, en español es sin embargo o no obstante. Sin embargo, no obstante. Para decir for this reason or as a result, we can say por eso o como resultado. Then we have therefore, por lo tanto. Desafortunadamente means unfortunately. Similarly, we have afortunadamente, which means fortunately. These vary, of course, depending on what you're writing about, what you'd like to express. This is a very good one. And this is put towards the end of your passage or your letter. Al fin y al cabo, at the end of it all. Or other translations would say at the end of the day. You want to say at the end of the day, it was well, or everything went well. Al fin y al cabo, lo pasé bien. This is an idiomatic expression that would be very good in your writing. This will make you stand out. In the blink of an eye. En un abrir y cerrar de ojos. In the blink of an eye. So if you want to be a cut above the rest, this is a phrase to include in your letter writing. And of course, as we approach the final point, it's good to say finalmente or por fin, which both mean finally. Now we have a number of other useful phrases. For example, we can insert expressions that will add to the letter sounding like a normal conversation. So for example, ¿puedes imaginar que? Can you imagine that? Let's say you're writing about a scholarship that you won. ¿Puedes imaginar que yo gané una beca. That would be a very great insertion. ¡Qué sorpresa! What a surprise. ¡Qué alivio! What a relief. ¡Qué lástima! What a pity. ¡Qué pena! What a shame. ¡Qué suerte! How lucky. ¡Qué increíble! O qué fantástico! O qué maravilloso are all very positive phrases that can mean how incredible, how wonderful, how fantastic. And all of these can be inserted throughout your letter at the end of different paragraphs, at the end of different thoughts to add to the cohesion of your letter. Then we are approaching the end, so we have a number of closing lines. Of course, we can't just end the letter abruptly. We have to end it in a nice way. So the following are a few closing lines that you can use. The first one is, escríbeme pronto, write me soon. Favor de escribirme pronto is another way to say, please write me soon. Espero que me escribas pronto. I hope you write me soon. Or we could say, cuídate mucho. Take good care of yourself. Espero tu respuesta ansiosamente. I anxiously await your response. Salúdame a tu familia. Greet your family for me. Then finally, we have the farewell, la despedida, y la firma, and the signature. And just to note, please use a fake name. So you can choose a Spanish name, Marisol, Alejandro, Carlos, Luisa, Miguel, any Spanish name of your choice to sign your letter. You cannot use your real name. Remember, even in CSEC, you do not go by your names, you go by your registration number to preserve anonymity. Okay, so this is very important. Now there are a number of farewell expressions. Let's observe them. Besos y abrazos, Laura. Hugs and kisses. So this is an example of how the end of your letter will look. You will have the farewell greeting, comma, and then your fake name. And this is to be aligned on the right hand side again, in alignment with the city and the date. Con cariño o con mucho cariño, Nicolás. With great affection or with affection. Con afecto y admiración, Jorge. With affection and admiration. Or simply, we can say your friend. Tu amigo for a male, or tu amiga if you're writing as a female. Tu amigo Mateo, tu amiga Maria. And that's the end of your letter. So at the end of it all, it should look like this. Now before you go, I'd like to leave you with a number of tips. For letter writing, please write in paragraphs. It's good to organize your thoughts and organize the cues that are given for you to include in different sections. This helps the examiner to be able to see that yes, you have addressed each point. It also helps you as the writer to ensure that you have given enough attention to each detail of your letter, and it also gives the letter cohesion and presentation points. Número dos, use transitional words and phrases. We explored a number of them in this video. Please add them to your vocabularies and use a number of them to transition from each thought to another. Thirdly, stick to the word limit. You have a word limit, you cannot go below, and you're not supposed to go over or you'll be penalized. So try your best to stick within the limit given. Of course, you need to check over your work. Check for proper spelling and check for your grammar. Ensure that there are no grammatical errors as much as possible. And finally, answer all the cues. You can have a perfect letter, but because you left out a very important piece of information, you're not going to be awarded full marks. So ensure that you answer everything that is required. And just like that, we've come to the end of another video. Gracias por mirar. I hope this helped you, and I wish you all the best in your upcoming exams. Adios.